Well, apart from the NDA, a contract saying what you will and won't do, I need to know your limits, and you need to know mine. This is consensual, Anastasia. And if I don't want to do this, that's fine, he says carefully. But we won't have any sort of relationship, I ask. No. Why? This is the only sort of relationship I'm interested in. Why? He shrugs. It's the way I am. How did you become this way? Why is anyone the way they are? That's kind of hard to answer. Why do some people like cheese and other people hate it? Do you like cheese? Mrs. Jones, my housekeeper, has left this for supper. He takes some large white plates from the cupboard and places one in front of me. We're talking about cheese? Holy crap. What are your rules that I have to follow? I have them written down. We'll go through them once we've eaten. Food? How can I eat now? I'm really not hungry, I whisper. You will eat, he says simply. Dominating Christian, it all becomes clear. Would you like another glass of wine? Yes, please. He pours wine into my glass and comes to sit beside me. I take a hasty sip. Help yourself to food, Anastasia. I take a small bunch of grapes. This I can manage. He narrows his eyes. Have you been like this for a while? I ask. Yes. It is easy to find women who want to do this. He raises an eyebrow at me. You'd be amazed, he says dryly. Then why me? I really don't understand. Anastasia, I've told you. There's something about you I can't leave you alone. He smiles ironically. I'm like a moth to a flame. His voice darkens. I want you very badly, especially now, when you're biting your lip again. He takes a deep breath and swallows. My stomach somersaults. He wants me, in a weird way, true, but this beautiful, strange, kinky man wants me. I think you have that cliche. The wrong way around, I grumble. I am the moth and he is the flame, and I'm going to get burned, I know. Eat. No, I haven't signed anything yet, so I think I'll hang on to my free will for a bit longer, if that's okay with you. His eyes soften, and his lips turn up in a smile. As you wish, Miss Steele. How many women? I blurt out the question, but I'm so curious. 15. Oh, not as many as I thought. For long periods of time, some of them, yes. Have you ever hurt anyone? Yes. Holy shit. Badly? No. Will you hurt me? What do you mean? Physically, will you hurt me? I will punish you when you require it, and it will be painful. I think I feel a little faint. I take another sip of wine. Alcohol, this will make me brave. Have you ever beaten anyone? I ask. Yes. Oh, that surprises me. Before I can question him on this revelation further, he interrupts my brain of thought. Let's discuss this in my study. I want to show you something. This is hard to process. Here, I was foolishly thinking that I'd spend a night of unpropelled passion in this man's bed, and we're negotiating this weird arrangement. I follow him into the study, a spacious room with another floor-to-ceiling window that opens onto the balcony. He sits on the desk, motions for me to sit on leather chairs in front of him, and hands me a piece of paper. These are the rules. They may be subject to change. They form part of a contract, which you can also have. Read these rules and let's discuss. Rules. Obedience. The submissive will obey any instructions given by the dominant immediately, without hesitation or reservation. And in an expeditious manner, the submissive will agree to any sexual activity deemed fit and pleasurable by the dominant, excepting those activities that are outlined in hard limits. She will do so eagerly and without hesitation. Sleep. The submissive will ensure she achieves a minimum of 7 hours sleep a night when she is not with the dominant. Food. The submissive will eat regularly to maintain her health and well-being from a prescribed list of foods. The submissive will not snack between meals, with the exception of fruit. Clothes. During the term, the submissive will wear clothing only approved by the dominant. The dominant will provide a clothing budget for the submissive, which the submissive shall utilise. The dominant shall accompany the submissive to purchase clothing. If the dominant so requires, the submissive shall wear, during the term of endowments, the dominant shall require, in the presence of the dominant, and at any time the dominant deems fit. Exercise. The dominant shall provide the submissive with a personal trainer 4 times a week, in hour-long sessions, at times to be mutually agreed between the personal trainer and the submissive. The personal trainer will report to the dominant on the submissive's progress. Personal hygiene. The submissive will keep herself clean and shaved and waxed at all times. The submissive will visit a beauty salon of the dominant's choosing at times to be decided by the dominant, and undergo whatever treatments the dominant sees fit. Personal safety. The submissive will not eat, drink in excess, smoke, take recreational drugs, or put herself in any unnecessary danger. Personal qualities. The submissive will not enter into any sexual relations with anyone other than the dominant. The submissive will conduct herself in a respectful and modest manner at all times. She must recognise that her behaviour is a direct reflection on the dominant. She shall be held accountable for any misdeeds, wrongdoings and misbehaviour committed when not in the presence of the dominant. Failure to comply with any of the above will result in immediate punishment, the nature of which shall be determined by the dominant. Holy fuck, hard limits, I ask. Yes, you won't do what I want. You need to specify in our agreement. I'm not sure about accepting money for clothes. It feels wrong. I shift uncomfortably, the word hoe rattling around my head. I want to lavish money on you. Let me buy you some clothes. I may need you to accompany me to functions, and I want you dressed well. I'm sure your salary, when you do get a job, won't cover the kind of clothes I'd like you to wear. I don't have to wear them when I'm not with you. No. Okay, think of them as a uniform. I don't want to exercise 4 times a week. Anastasia, I need you supple, strong, and with stamina. Trust me, you need to exercise. But surely not 4 times a week. How about 3? I want you to do 4. I thought this was a negotiation. He pursues his lips at me. Okay, Miss Steele, another point well made. How about an hour on 3 days and 1 day half an hour? 3 days, 3 hours? I get the impression you're going to keep me exercised when I'm here. He smiles wickedly, and his eyes glow as if relieved. Yes, I am. Okay, agreed. Are you sure you don't want to intern at my company? You're a good negotiator. No, I don't think that's a good idea. I stare down at his rules. Waxing? Waxing what? Everything. So limits, there are mine. He hands me another piece of paper. Hard limits. No acts involving fire play. No acts involving urination or defecation and the products thereof. No acts involving needles, knives, piercings or blood. No acts involving gynecological medical instruments. No acts involving children or animals. No acts that will leave any permanent mark on the skin. No acts involving brief control. No acts that involve the direct contact of electrical current, whether alternating or direct, fire or flames to the body. Huh? He has to write these down, of course. They all look very sensible and frankly necessary. Any sane person wouldn't want to be involved in this sort of thing, surely. though I now feel a little queasy. Is there anything you'd like to add? He asked kindly. Crap, I've no idea. I am completely stumped. He gazes at me and furrows his brow. Is there anything you won't do? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I squirm uncomfortably and bite my lip. I've never done anything like this. Well, when you've had sex, was there anything that you didn't like doing? For the first time in what seems to be ages, I blush. You can tell me, Anastasia. We have to be honest with each other, or this isn't going to work. I squirm uncomfortably again and stare at my knotted fingers. Tell me, he commands. Well, I haven't had sex before, so I don't know. My voice is small. I peek up at him and he's gaping at me, frozen and pale. Really pale. Never, he whispers. I shake my head. You're a virgin, he breathes. I nod, flushing again. He closes his eyes and looks to be counting to 10. When he opens them again, he's angry, glaring at me. Why the fuck didn't you tell me? He growls. Chapter 8. Christian is running his hands through his hair and pacing up and down the study. 2 hands, that's double expiration. His usual concrete control seems to have slipped a notch. I don't understand why you didn't tell me, he castigates me. The subject never came up. I'm not in a habit of revealing my sexual status to everyone I meet. I mean, we hardly know each other. I'm staring at my hands. Why am I feeling guilty? Why is he so mad? I peek up at him. Well, you know a lot more about me now, he snaps. His mouth presses into a hard line. I knew you were inexperienced, but a virgin? He says it like it's a really dirty word. Hell, Hannah, I just showed you, he groans. May God forgive me. Have you ever been kissed, apart from me? Of course I have. I try my best to look affronted. Okay, maybe twice. And a nice young man hasn't swept you off your feet? I just don't understand. You're 21, nearly 22. You're beautiful. He runs his hand through his hair again. Beautiful? I flush with pleasure. Christian Grey thinks I'm beautiful. I knot my fingers together, staring at them, hard, trying to conceal my goofy grin. Perhaps he is foresighted, my subconscious has reared a somnambulant head. Where was she when I needed her? And you're seriously discussing what I want to do, when you have no experience. His brows knit together. How have you avoided sex? Tell me, please. I shrug. No one's really, come up to scratch, only you. And you turn out to be some kind of monster. Why are you so angry with me? I whisper. I'm not angry with you. I'm angry with myself. I just assumed. He sighs. He regards me shrewdly and then shakes his head. Do you want to go? He asks, his voice gentle. No, unless you want me to go. I murmur. Oh no, I don't want to leave. Of course not. I like having you here. He frowns as he says this and then glances at his watch. It's late, and he turns to look at me. You're biting your lip. His voice is husky, and he's eyeing me spectacularly. Sorry. Don't apologise. It's just that I want to bite it too, hard. I gasp. How can he say things like this to me and not expect me to be affected? Come, he murmurs. What? We're going to rectify the situation right now. What do you mean? What situation? Your situation, Anna. I'm going to make love to you, now. Oh, the floor has fallen away. I'm a situation. I'm holding my breath. That's if you want to. I don't want to push my luck. I thought you didn't make love. I thought you fucked hard. I swallow, my mouth suddenly dry. He gives me a wicked grin, the effects of which travel all the way down there. I can make an exception, or maybe combine the two. We'll see. I really want to make love to you. Please come to bed with me. I want our arrangement to work, but you really need to have some idea of what you're getting into. We can start your training tonight, with the basics. This doesn't mean I've come over all hearts and flowers, it means to an end, but one that I want, and hopefully you do too. His gaze is intense. I flush. Oh my, wishes do come true. But I haven't done all the things you require from your list of rules. My voice is all breathy, hesitant. Forget about the rules. Forget about all those details for tonight. I want you. I've wanted you since you fell into my office, and I know you want me. You wouldn't be sitting here calmly discussing punishment and hard limits if you didn't. Please, Anna, spend the night with me. He holds his hand out to me. His eyes are bright, fervent, excited, and I put my hand on his. He pulls me up and into his arms, so I can feel the length of his body against mine. This swift action taking me by surprise. He runs his fingers around the nape of my neck, winds my ponytail around his wrist, and gently pulls, so I am forced to look up at him. He gazes down at me. You are one brave young woman, he whispers. I am in awe of you. His words are like some kind of incendiary device. My blood flames. He leans down and kisses my lips gently, and he looks at my lower lip. I want to bite this lip, he murmurs against my mouth, and carefully he tugs at it with his teeth. I moan, and he smiles. Please, Anna, let me make love to you. Yes, I whisper, because that's why I'm here. His smile is triumphant as he releases me and takes my hand and leads me through the apartment. His bedroom is vast. The ceiling-height windows look out on light up Seattle. The walls are white and the furnishings are pale blue. The enormous bed is ultra-modern, made of rough grey wood like driftwood, 4 posts, but no canopy. On the wall above is a stunning painting of the sea. I am quaking like a leaf. This is it, finally. After all this time I'm going to do it, with none other than Christian Grey. My breath is shallow and I can't take my eyes off him. He removes his watch and places it on top of the chest of drawers that matches the bed, and removes his jacket, placing it on a chair. He is dressed in his white linen shirt and jeans. He is heart-stoppingly beautiful. His dark copper hair is a mess, his shirt hanging out, his grey eyes bold and dazzling. He steps out of his Converse shoes and reaches down and takes his socks off, individually. Christian Grey's feet. Wow, what is it about naked feet? Turning, he gazes at me, his expression soft. I assume you're not on the pill. What? Shit? I didn't think so. He opens the top drawer of the chest and removes the packet of condoms. He gazes at me intently. Be prepared, he murmurs. Do you want the blinds drawn? I don't know, I whisper. I thought you didn't let anyone sleep in your bed. Who says we're going to sleep? He murmurs. How? Holy hell. He strolls slowly towards me, confident, sexy, eyes blazing, and my heart begins to pound. My blood's pumping through my body. Desire, thick and hot, pulls in my belly. He stands in front of me, staring down into my eyes. He's so freaking hot. Let's get this jacket off, shall we? He says softly, and takes hold of the lapels and gently slides my jacket off my shoulders. He places it on the chair. Do you have any idea how much I want you, Anna Steele? He whispers. My breath itches. I cannot take my eyes off him. He reaches up and gently runs his fingers down my cheek to my chin. Do you have any idea what I'm going to do to you? He adds, caressing my chin. The muscles inside the deepest, darkest part of me clench in the most delicious fashion. The pain is so sweet and sharp, I want to close my eyes, but I'm hypnotized by his eyes staring frequently into mine. Leaning down, he kisses me. His lips are demanding, firm and slow, moulding mine. He starts unbuttoning my shirt, while he places feather-like kisses across my jaw and chin, and the corners of my mouth. Slowly he peels it off and lets it fall onto the floor. He stands back and gazes at me. I'm in a pale blue, lacy, perfect fit bra. Thank heavens. Oh, Hannah, he breathes, you have the most beautiful skin, pale and flawless. I want to kiss every single inch of it. I flush, oh my. Why did he say he couldn't make love? I will do anything he wants. He grasps my hair tie, pulls it free, and gasps as my hair cascades down around my shoulders. I like brunettes, he murmurs, and both of his hands are in my hair, grasping each side of my head. His kiss is demanding, his tongue, his lips are coaxing mine. I moan, and my tongue tentatively meets his. He puts his arms around me and holds me against his body, squeezing me tightly. One hand remains in my hair, the other travels down my spine, onto my waist and down to my behind. His hand flexes over my backside and squeezes gently. He holds me against his hips and I feel his erection, which he pushes into me. I moan once more into his mouth. I can hardly contain the righteous feelings, or are they hormones? That rampage through my body, I want him so badly. Gripping his upper arms, I feel his biceps. He's surprisingly strong, muscular, tentative. I move my hands up to his face and into his hair. It's so soft, unruly. I tug gently as he groans. He eases me towards the bed until I feel it behind my knees. I think he's going to push me down onto it, but he doesn't. Releasing me, he suddenly drops to his knees. He grabs my hips and both his hands and runs his tongue around my navel, then gently nips his way to my hip bone, then across my belly to my other hip bone. I groan. Seeing him on his knees in front of me, feeling his mouth on me, it's so unexpected and hot. My hands stay in his hair, pulling gently. As I try to quiet my too loud breathing, he gazes up at me through impossibly long lashes. His eyes are scorching smoky grey. His hands reach up and undo the button on my jeans, and he leisurely pulls down the zipper, without taking his eyes off mine. His hands move beneath the waistband, skimming me and moving to my behind. His hands glide slowly down my backside to my thighs, removing my jeans as they go. I cannot look away. He stops and licks his lips, never breaking eye contact. He leans forward, running his nose up the apex between my thighs. I feel him there. You smell so good, he murmurs, and closes his eyes. A look of pure pleasure comes on his face, and I practically convulse. He reaches up and tucks the duvet off the bed, then pushes me gently so I fall onto the mattress. Still kneeling, he grabs my foot and undoes my Converse, pulling off my shoe and socks. I raise myself up on my elbows to see what he's doing. I'm panting, wanting. He lifts my foot by the heel and runs his thumbnail onto my instep. It's most painful, but I feel the movement echoing in my groin. I gasp. Not taking his eyes off mine, again he runs his tongue along my instep and then his teeth. Shit, I groan. How can I feel this there? I fall back onto the bed, moaning. I hear his soft chuckle. Oh, Hannah, what I could do to you, he whispers. He removes my other shoe and sock, then stands and removes my jeans completely. I'm lying on his bed, dressed only in my bra and pants, and he's staring down at me. You're very beautiful, Anastasia Steele. I can't wait to be inside you. Holy shit, his words is so seductive, it takes my breath away. Show me how you pleasure yourself. What? I frown. Don't be coy, Hannah, show me, he whispers. I shake my head. I don't know what you mean. My voice is hoarse, I hardly recognised it, laced with desire. How do you make yourself come? I want to say. I shake my head. I don't, I mumble. He raises his eyebrows, astonished for a moment, and his eyes darken, and he shakes his head in disbelief. Well, we'll have to see what we can do about that. His voice is soft, challenging, a delicious sensual threat. He undoes the buttons of his jeans and slowly pulls his jeans down, his eyes on mine the whole time. He leans down over me and, grasping each of my ankles, quickly jerks my legs apart and crawls onto the bed. between my legs. He hovers over me. I am squirming with need. Keep still, he murmurs, and then he leans down and kisses the inside of my thigh, trailing kisses up over the thin lacy material of my pants, kissing me. Oh, I can't keep still. How can I not move? I wriggle beneath him. We're going to have to work on keeping you still, baby. He trails, kissing up on my belly, and his tongue dips onto my navel. Still, he's heading north, kissing me across my torso. My skin is burning. I'm flushed. Too hot, too cold, and I'm clawing at the sheet beneath me. He lies down beside me, and his hand trails up from my hip up to my waist and up to my breast. He gazes down at me, his expression unreadable, and gently cups my breast. You fit my hand perfectly, Anastasia, he murmurs, and dips his index finger onto the cup of my bra and gently yanks it down, freeing my breast, but the underwire and fabric of the cup force it upward. His finger moves to my other breast and repeats the process. My breasts swell and my nipples harden under his steady gaze. I am trussed up by my own bra. Very nice, he whispers appreciatively, and my nipples harden even more. He blows very gently on one of my hands, move up to my other breast, and his thumb slowly rolls the end of the nipple. Elegantly. I groan again, feeling the sweet sensation all the way to my groin. I am so wet. Oh, please, I beg internally, as my fingers clasp the sheet. His lips close around my other nipple, and when he tugs, I nearly convulse. Let's see if we can make you come like this, he whispers.